Hey, this is my students. Welcome to homework 3.11% equation. If you watched the video, you can check off as practice homework. Calculator's okay, and it's due Monday. So what you want to remember for this is that when we set up the percent equation, just like we did from our notes, you're going to have the part over the whole is equal to the percent over 100. And out of these, only one of these you will not know, and that's what you need to solve for. So the key thing is remembering that part is the word is, whole is the word of, percent is obviously the percent sign, and over 100 every single time. So if I have a 56%, that is obviously a percent. If I have of 50, that is obviously a whole. So I'll put 50 there, 56 there, and x right there. Right? So now I just go ahead and solve this. So I have x over 50 is equal to 56 over 100. And let me be a little bit more clear about that 50 being red. So go ahead and multiply across just like this. I like to put the x first and work left to right. So it's 100 times x is 100x, right? Is equal to 50 times 56, which is 2,800. And you just go ahead and divide by 100 to solve for x. These cancel out, so x is equal to 28. So circle 28 and move on down. And the next one we have 33% of 50 is what? So percent sign is obviously percent. So underline that, right? Percent. Go ahead and put 33% down there. The of 50 is a whole. Word of 50. And we need to solve for the part. So it's x over 50 is equal to 33 over 100, right? So we're basically just trying to figure out what number divided by 50 is going to be 33%. So we do our cross multiplication. Again, I like putting the x first. So 100 times x is 100x equal to 50 times 33, which is 1,650. Make sure you put the equal sign. Don't just leave it blank. And then make sure that this is a next step. Dividing is the next step. So divide by 100. And x is equal to 16.5. You're going to get decimals. You can round to the nearest tenth or write numbers up to the nearest hundredth and round there. But in this case, C is obviously your answer. All right, it makes sense, right? 16 is less than half of 50. Half of 50 is 25. So it makes sense that 16.5 would be around 33%. So 155 is 62% of what? So 62 is obviously a percent. So I can go ahead and put 62% there. 155 is, that's a part. That's our first one that's a part. So 155 goes here. And we need to figure out our whole. So basically we're trying to say 155 divided by something is going to be 62%, right? So basically 155 is 62% of what number? So we do our cross multiplication. 62 times x is 62x equals 155 times 100 is 15,500. And then we go ahead and divide both sides by 62. When I do that, I get x is equal to 250. And that makes sense, right? So 155 is a little bit more than half of 250, so it makes sense that it would be in the 62% range. 64% of what is 75? So 64 is obviously a percent. So put that down on the percent, 64%. Put the percent sign to help you out. Is 7, that's obviously a part. So 7, and then the whole is what we don't know. So we've got 7 over x equals 64 over 100. So we'll go ahead and multiply 64 times x. That's 64x equal to 7 times 100. That is 700. And then I would divide by 64. When I do that, I get x is equal to a really long number. It's like 10.9375. Again, you can just stop at 10.93, and then we go ahead and circle 10.9. Right? If I were you, I'd pause at this moment, and try and do some of the even problems. They're very similar to the odd problems. In fact, I tried to make the wording the same, so you can kind of pick up the pattern here. Let's shift to the back side real quick. So what percent of 86 is 74? So of 86, that's a part, because the word of is 74. It doesn't have a percent sign, so that's going to be the part, of 86 as the whole. So we got 74 over 86 equals x over 100. So basically what we're just trying to do is figure out, if I divide 74 by 86, what percent is that? Now you could do that easily on your calculator, just 74 divided by 86, or you could continue to follow this ratio. So 86x is equal to 7400, and then simply divide by 86. So sorry, we were trying to solve for our percent here. In doing that, I get x is equal to 86.04, and that obviously rounds to 86%. Number 11, 17 is, so that's your part, the word is, right? So write part, 17 of 25, so that's obviously your whole, again the keyword of, and then you're just trying to figure out your percent. So we've got 17 over 25 is equal to x over 100. Again, you could just divide 17 by 25 to figure out what percent that would be, or you could do what we've been doing the whole time, figure out your ratios by cross multiplying. So 25x equals 1700. We end up dividing by 25. X is equal to 68, so 68%. And the last one I'll do with you is number 13. I'll leave you 15 in the rest. It says, what is 4%? So there is the word is there, but because the word, the percent sign is attached to it, definitely makes it a percent. So percent, that's 4%. Then we got of 50, that's obviously a whole, so that's 50. So we got the part is what we're trying to solve for. So x over 50 is equal to 4 over 100. So what number basically is, what number out of 50 is 4%, right? So when I do my cross multiplying, I get 100 times x, so 100x, 50 times 4 is equal to 200, and then I just go ahead and divide by 100. So the answer is x is equal to 2. That means 2 out of 50 is just 4%. So if you had a test and you got 2 questions right out of 50, you get a 4% on it, right? It's good to make sense to see whether an answer is reasonable or not in these. So you got the rest. Show work just like I have, and call me if you have questions.